Okay. Okay. That's my abbreviated term for okay. Let's get rocking. So, got the pellet grill heating up. I'm going to heat it up to what, 300. I'm going to do some chicken and wings. But first, let's do a little bit more of a review on this pellet grill. I'm hand holding the camera, so bear with me. Temperature is set, I believe I said 300. It's slowly getting up there. A couple of things I wanted to point out about this grill. In order to smoke, again, we're hand holding the camera, changing the angle. One of the great things about this grill is that you can both smoke and grill on it. Take a look at those cutouts in the metal below. And what happens is you can actually open it up for doing your grilling. And what's great about this new version is you've got a push rod. Before, you would have to remove these grates and actually move it aside. But no longer. You have this nice little option down here. Let's shut this down. In addition, when cleaning this grill out, at least the older versions, when cleaning out the older versions, you actually had to remove all the grates and your sub grate, and then you would have to pull out the firebox. With this model, all you do is release this clasp, and this pulls right out. Just slides about an inch this way and pulls right out. Dump it into the trash. Everything's built like a tank on this thing. It's not flimsy at all. Table folds up. Really nice table. And I like how it is easily collapsible. What else? Going around the back of this, by the way, if I haven't shown you, this is the hopper where you put all your pellets in. And since I did my ribs last time, that's all the pellets I used. So between the burn-in, which I'll talk about later on, possibly in a later video, I filled up these pellets all the way to the top of this grate right here. So with the burn-in, that was a 50-minute burn-in plus my ribs, that's all the pellets that were used. In my opinion, a lot more economical to barbecue on a pellet grill than it is to, let's say, barbecue with a charcoal grill. Charcoal is really expensive. Got some people across the street doing some construction work. Another feature that I like about this pellet grill is the older versions of this didn't have a release panel. So all I do is remove this door and pull out this screw and just slide the slide out, and it'll release all those pellets that are in the hopper. Dump them into, let's say, a 5-gallon bucket, put a lid on that bucket, they'll stay nice and dry. The great option about that is you can put any flavor pellets you want into the hopper without having to wait until you consume all these or use all of these. Speaking of pellets, we're using the Pit Boss all natural barbecue hardwood pellets, the competition blend. This bag was $14 and change at Lowe's. It is a 40-pound bag. So that's what we're going to be using. And by the way, for me, it was the cheapest pellet for the burn-in process as well. So when you're burning in your pellet grill, what you're doing is you're burning off all the oils and whatnot that the factory puts onto it. And what you're doing is you're preheating this to approximately 400 degrees for approximately half an hour to burn off those oils, those machine oils. And you want to go with your cheapest pellets that you can find. Obviously, you don't want to go get some expensive pellets to do your burn-in. So for me, that was the cheapest pellet. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and brain out the chicken and whatnot and show you how to prepare it. Alright, so I'm going to do some chicken wings and a chicken breast. And there's a lot of recipes. I'm going to go for the most simplistic recipe there is, just to get everybody up to the same speed as far as barbecuing. For this recipe, we're going to use some olive oil. Doesn't matter which kind you have because we're going to be using it as a binder. Your seasoning of choice, I'm just going with what I had. But any seasoning, there's no rule, or there's no rule that says you have to use that exact rub. And a rubber glove, as well as a paper towel. Now with a pellet grill, for smoking purposes, to get the smokiest flavor into your foods, I recommend the lowest safe temperature possible. However, we're cooking chicken, and according to what I've been told, the minimum cooking temperature for chicken, or turkey for that matter, is 275 degrees. With this with this pit boss, the minimum temperature, it goes in increments of 50 up until 250. So it'll go 150, 200, 250, and then it jumps to 300. Again, the minimum for chicken is what? 275. Same with turkey. So to be on the safe side, I bumped it up because there's no 275. I bumped it up to 300. Don't want to cook it at 250. So let's get started. Rubber glove. With chicken, poultry, I recommend one gloved hand and one free hand. A little bit of olive oil of your choice, and also you can use mustard, believe it or not, of your choice as your binder. I'm just going to drizzle on a little bit of this. But first, actually, I've already patted them dry in the house, but I wanted to make sure and get it done again. I want it dry. There we go. Put this aside in the trash. And just a little olive oil. Just enough to, just a little bit, just to smear it on. I love this pit boss. I love having the two trays to work with. Pretty strong trays too, if I might add. Okay, that's all we're doing. Just getting a little olive oil on everything. Get this out of the way. Again, seasoning of your choice. I mean, I normally prefer to make my own rub. I normally start with 50-50 salt and brown sugar, and then I'll throw in cayenne pepper and garlic and minced onions and whatnot. That's minced dry onions. And I'll just make my own rub. But again, today, just it's time is of the essence. So let's get this. And I will wash this cap now that I touched it with contaminated gloves. And all we're going to do is just sprinkle on a little bit. Now I like to sprinkle from about 18 inches. The higher you sprinkle from, the more evenly distributed is what I meant to say, your seasoning is. Obviously I'm working underneath the chimney there. One thing I want to say about rub, a lot of people think, oh, you got to rub your food in with a rub. That's actually incorrect. Pat them. Just give them a couple of pats. Do not rub them. Because when you rub it, you're moving the seasoning around, and you'll have clumps of good seasoning and clumps of no seasoning. Flip everything over really quick. They were working across the street. Haven't heard a peep from them for 2 years. I set up the barbecue grill, get ready to make a video. I hear jackhammering, I hear wet saws. So again, from about 18 inches, somewhere in there, wherever you feel comfortable. I like getting a nice amount of seasoning on them too. I don't know if you were able to see that. That's the New Orleans Cajun, so I'm hoping to add a little heat to this. little bit more. We get a little greedy with that seasoning. Okay, I'll be back when we're ready to put it on the fire. I think we have about 1 minute to go. Okay, time to put the chicken on. Purposefully, I left the chicken sit with the spices on just for a minute or two, no longer. Just to get those spices, you know, all soggy and nice and rendered down. I want it to get right into that meat. So here's what I'm going to do. 275 is what the lowest temperature you can cook chicken with, is from what I know. 275. This pellet grill does not have that increment of 275. It jumps to 250 to 300. So to be on the safe side, I'm doing it for 300. Why am I mentioning that? The lower the temperature in a pellet grill, or even smoking for that matter, produces more smokier flavor. If it was safe enough to go down at 250 or 270, you know, I would definitely do 250 just to get more of a smoky flavor. But anyway, I'm going to put in a grill probe. Minimum internal temperature for chicken is 165. So I'm just going to put this right here for now. I am going to leave my grill closed. That means this is going to be an indirect heat. Now at the end, I'm going to do what they call a reverse sear. I'm going to open up the flame box so the flame comes through, and then I'll sear them. That's what they call a reverse sear. Now for my pellet grill, the hot side is always on the right side. So I want the biggest piece of chicken I can get on that right side. And I'm just going to throw these down here. Just the smell of those seasonings just is incredible. Once they touch the heat, that hot grill, it's just incredible. Anyway, taking my probe and I'm putting it in the fattest part of the meat. Remember, we're looking for 265. Move that over just a little bit. Shut the grill. I'll see you in about 45 minutes when I take a look at it. Okay folks, you can see that the internal temperature of the chicken breast is 163, teetering on 164. I'm already getting emails for two questions. What does this NOP mean, and why is the screen blinking? First, let's address the screen that's blinking. I am not seeing a blinking screen from where I stand. However, when you film an LED display with a camera, the frame rates are causing it to appear on your video as though it's blinking, but trust me, it's not blinking. Second question is, what does the NOP stand for? And we have 3 of them. Well, the NOP means no probe. If you take a look below, we have the ability to plug in 4 probes. And it's just showing that the other 3 are not being utilized. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Once that chicken gets up to 165, I'm going to do a reverse sear on it. See you in a few. Okay, so we got 165 on that meat thermometer. So what I'm going to do is a reverse sear. I'm going to get that chicken breast over the firebox. I'm going to move the chicken wings on this side, but I'm also going to take that opportunity to flip the wings. And I can already see that they're starting to crispen up the wings that is. And I'm going to actually let the wings cook a little bit longer over the open flame after we finish searing that. Right now is a good time to remove your probe. Use a mitt because these suckers can be hot. And additionally, is a good time right now, if you like barbecue sauce, is a good time right now to put a little barbecue sauce. I'm only going to put it on the chicken breast, and I'm going to eat my wings dry. Now with my with my barbecue sauce, I'm just using an over-the-counter brand that I like, but I doctor it up. I put a little, you know, honey in there, and I put a little cayenne pepper in there. I always like the profile of sweet yet spicy. So let's take care of that. I'm actually trying to dab the barbecue sauce on. I'm not trying to spread it because I don't want to move or remove those seasonings. I'm only going to do just a light coating actually. There we go. Can you hear it sear already? I mean, you can hear it sizzle is what I meant. And there we go. Get this out of the way. So I'm gonna move everything over this way. You can see it sizzling. It's cooking really good here. Now what I did is I had a hard time. If you recall, if you look at the beginning of the video, it had a top grate on here. I removed it. It was actually difficult to work with. So I actually removed it, and you know, live and learn. It's a new grill. If I would have known that in the beginning, I would have taken it off in the beginning. It's over here. So as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, all you do is open up the firebox. Don't know if you can see the flame from that side, from that angle, but you just let this cook a little while, just another minute or so, just to get a nice little sear on that. And then I might flip it upside down. You could definitely tell she can grill. So what I'm going to do is put this right here and let it rest for a few minutes. While the grate is open, I've already turned up the temperature to 400 degrees. I'm going to gather all these chicken wings and get it on top of that firebox. Got to be careful not to rub off the spices. Sometimes the chicken slips in the tongs. You can tell it's browning. You can definitely tell. Just minutes from being done. And through the magic of video editing, it'll be done by the next time you see it. Look at all that smoke. Ooh, gotta love it, gotta love it. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Oh, mercy me. I love my wings slightly overcooked. Don't you hate it when you get it, like at Wingstop or one of these places, and the skin is kind of slimy? Don't like that. Don't like that at all. Okay, another 60 seconds. Okay, I think we're done. Start removing these things, my little puppies. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, so the chicken breast is rested a little bit. I'd say it rested for about 3 minutes, and that allows the juice to get right back into the fibers of that meat. Oh, you can see the juices coming out of that. Ah, beautiful. Let's take a look. Very soft, easy to cut. A couple of little medallions there, some chicken. Just beautiful. Wow. Holy cow. I'm trying not to talk with my mouth full, but I tell you, so good. You got a sweetness and a spice to it. And that New Orleans seasoning just hit the spot. Now normally I just dig in with my hands, but just for film purposes. No raw chicken here, buddy. Just the way I liked it. Ah, awesome. I think next time though, I am gonna slather a little bit of sauce on here. But until then, have a great day.